Welcome to the recorded version of Second Year Career Plan, which is your step-by-step guide filled with the UCR Career Center's recommendations as to what we think that you should consider in your second year. So some of the things that might be on your radar are, choosing a major if you haven't done so already, or preparing to apply for an internship or a job over the summer. So we will go over some of the steps that you should be considering so that you can make those decisions and send out those applications. So these will be the topics that we'll cover in this workshop. In addition to choosing a major and getting a summer internship or job, we'll also talk about building your resume writing and interviewing skills. Both of these things are skills that you can develop. No one really, is a master at these things from the get-go. So we will go over some tips and resources that you can use to develop further in these areas. And we'll also talk about exploring different careers. And I think the main message that we want you to take with you is that your major does not necessarily dictate your career. And so we will talk about, how you can approach your career exploration from a major does not equal career standpoint. These are our learning objectives for this workshop. So by the end of this workshop, we hope that you'll be able to list the different tools that you can use to help you decide on a major, identify how you can build your resume writing and interviewing skills, and describe different opportunities that you can use to gain experience. At the bottom, we have our NACE career readiness competencies. We will go over these in a moment in case you aren't familiar with them. The ones associated with this workshop and your kind of career development and management during your second year. First, we have critical thinking. This involves you being able to analyze your skills and abilities, as well as thinking about your major and career options. And you might be thinking about, like, your values, interests, personality, skills, and how these might relate to a major and or career. Next, we have career and self-development. These career plan workshops are all about career development and how you can identify tangible ways to build towards your career goals. Or, it might even be determining what those career goals are in the first place. Here we have our full list of the NACE career readiness competencies. So NACE stands for National Association of Colleges and Employers. Numerous college career centers and employers are members of this organization, and they have come together to agree upon this set of competencies that they believe broadly prepare college graduates for a successful transition into the workplace. And the great thing about these competencies is that you can acquire them in so many different ways and settings. So we hope that, continuing to engage in our services, getting involved on campus or off campus, you will start developing these different competencies so that you can make that successful transition into the workplace upon graduation. If you're currently exploring different majors to make your major decision, here are some tips that we recommend that you use. So take advantage of our resources. One that is specifically geared towards choosing a major is called Making a Major Decision. We offer it multiple times a year, so I highly recommend that you either attend or you can watch the recorded version online. You can also consider taking a career assessment to help you decide. I would recommend taking the Focus 2. This one is available to you through Handshake, and you don't have to meet with us to get an access code to take it. You can go in to Handshake, click on the Career Center tab, go to Resources, and it's one of the first ones on the list. Click on that, and when you create an account, I believe you click on the banner image to direct you to like the account creation page. Just be sure when you do so that you use the access code that is on the Focus 2 page on Handshake, because that's what makes it free to you as a UCR student. And if you have any questions or issues with getting started on Focus 2, feel free to email us at careercounseling@ucr.edu. So the Focus 2 is one of the career assessments that we offer. This one is one that we recommend for students who are exploring different majors, because one of the things that it does is not only does it link you to potential careers that you might be interested in based on its assessment of your values, interests, and personality, but it also links to majors at UCR specifically. So that's why we recommend that if you're unsure about your major, you don't know what to pick yet, or maybe you want to change your major, we recommend that you take the Focus 2 since it links to UCR majors. In addition to assessing for your values, interests, and personality, it also asks you to self-assess your skills, and it also assesses your leisure interests too. Another tip that you can use is to explore the general catalog. You can explore over 80 majors and the course offerings for these majors. It is a very heavy and long document, so I would recommend, taking the Focus to kind of get an idea of what some majors might be that you're interested in. Then maybe go into the catalog and view the course listings for those majors and read the description about each major in the catalog and kind of think about, okay, are these courses interesting to me or not? I think that could be helpful to you. I would also recommend asking your peers who are in these majors or who are taking these courses after you find out, some of the majors that the Focus 2 recommends, that you ask them, what their experience is like and get some information that way. Also, after you take the career assessment, I highly recommend that you schedule an interpretation with us at the Career Center. We host them regularly throughout the quarter in small groups. So if that's something that you want to take advantage of, I recommend that you do so. Lastly, but definitely not least, be sure that you are in contact with your academic advisor. Keep them in the loop so that you can be sure that you are on the right timeline to complete your major or majors of interest in the time that you're hoping to do so. So again, the message that we want to send regarding choosing your major is that your major doesn't dictate your career. On this slide, we have 4 majors. These are actually the most popular majors on campus. And what we did is we went on LinkedIn and we used the Find Alumni tool on the UCR page on LinkedIn. And we searched for alum in these different majors and looked at what they are currently doing after they've graduated with these different degrees. So as you can see, In business, we see people who are doing business development, operations, accounting, project management, but we also see people who are working in education and information technology. Then we have in biology, healthcare services, research, but we also have, again, business development, community, and social services. In computer science, we have, some of the more traditional routes of engineering and information technology and research, but we also have arts and design in there as well as education. And then lastly, for psychology, we kind of have a mix of all of these, different sectors that we were seeing in the other majors. So we have healthcare services, education, community and social services, human resources, research, and information technology. So as you can see, there are so many different paths that you can take. And these are all just a subset of the different things that alum are doing with these degrees. So I encourage you, to expand your horizons by conducting this research as well on your end. Again, you can do so by going on the UCR page on LinkedIn. If you click on More and Alumni, you can search for alum by using different filters, including what their major was. So as far as building your resume writing and interviewing skills, we recommend that you start by attending or viewing the resume writing and ACE the interview workshops. So you can attend these live or watch the recorded versions on YouTube. This is really going to give you the foundation and it's a great way to get started. Another thing that I would recommend as far as the resume is to review the resume samples at careers.ucr.edu. If your college has a career resources or career services page as well, there are some sample resumes for the specific majors within these colleges too. So I recommend that you take a look at those. So after you've done these things, how can you take it to the next level? So you can get your resume reviewed by your career specialist. So after attending these workshops and viewing some samples, I recommend that you take all of this information and, give creating a resume or updating your resume a shot on your own. And then you can have your career specialist review it with you. However, if you are having a hard time getting started, you don't know where to start even after you've reviewed these different things, you can make an appointment with your career specialist. You don't even have to have a draft, and we can help you get started too. So don't feel like you need to have a resume to make an appointment to do a resume review. We would be happy to help you get started. Once you have created your resume, gotten it reviewed, gotten a seal of approval, so to speak, that's not it. You have to continue to add to it as you gain experience. We call the resume a living document. It continues to grow and develop as you do. It is not static by any means. So continue to add to it as you gain experience so that it doesn't become overwhelming when you've gained all of this experience throughout your 4 years or more at UCR, and you have to do all of that updating at once. Next, I would recommend that you practice your interviewing using our mock interview tool called Standout. So this is a virtual mock interview tool. You record yourself answering to pre-recorded questions that either our staff or Standout have provided for you already. You can watch your recording, listen to it, kind of see your nonverbals, listen to how you communicate things and if your communication is clear on Standout. But I would also recommend that after you've completed your mock interview on Standout, send it to your career specialist and they can review it with you in a mock interview critique appointment as well. Lastly, once you've done these things, I highly recommend that you put your resume to use, upload your resume to Handshake and make it public. So you can start applying, or if your resume is public, employers can reach out to you directly, so that you can start showing and demonstrating your experience that you've already have. You apply those interview skills so you can get a role and provide what you already have to offer and continue to grow from there as well. So this is a screenshot of our resume page on our website. Our website is currently being updated as far as the navigation, but if you go into the search bar and type in resumes and search within our Career Center webpage, then it will pull up this page. It'll be the first result. And you can view the different sample resumes. We have at least one resume for each college, so one major at least is represented. And in addition to that, we have a first-year student sample resume, as well as a resume guide that kind of walks you through the different components step by step. And we also have an action verb guide for resume that can help you use actionable and proactive language in your resume. So this is one of the sample resumes that we have on our website. At first glance, it is very simple, and it is pretty much all black font on a white background. This is kind of the standard for most, that most students will probably be using. The only exception to this is if you are pursuing a career that is more creative. If you're in the arts, for example, you might have something that looks more creative. Another thing is we do see students even in like engineering or social sciences, they come in with a more creative resume with more like graphic design elements and things like that. That is an option that you can use, but I would recommend that you use that for an in-person, like when you are interviewing and you can hand your resume to someone, then you can use, a more creative resume in those cases, because there might be some constraints with using a more creative resume when you are uploading to most employer websites. Again, though, if you are in a creative field, that is going to be more quote unquote normal or accepted, so you might not face those similar obstacles that students in other fields and majors might. So again, here we have a sample. You can see the different sections that are on here. The objective is optional. I recommend if maybe you don't have a lot of experience and you're having a hard time filling up the page, I would recommend that you include it. In addition to that, you will have an education section, experience of some sort. In this example, it is categorized by types of experience. So we have event planning and work experience. You might have a section if you are involved in student organizations, and most people will also have a skills section too. But again, everyone has different experiences, a different background, different goals. So your resume is not going to look the same as other people's, and that's okay. When it comes to exploring career options, here are some of the resources that we recommend. Again, it's not an exhaustive list by any means, but first you can use Highlander link to search for different student organizations. There are some that are more professionally oriented, but don't be afraid to, become part of academic or, organizations that are related to personal interests or hobbies, because it's possible that you can make a career out of those things as well, or you can learn about what other people are doing and the careers that they're pursuing, and that can be really informative too. And of course, we have LinkedIn again, so still would recommend that you search for alumni and take a look at what people are doing with their degrees after they graduate. You can reach out to these individuals on LinkedIn to conduct informational interviews, gain additional information, maybe learn more in detail what these individuals do on a day-to-day basis, how did they get here, and also build your network at the same time. So if you develop these relationships further, when it comes time for you to apply, find an internship or a job, you can activate these networks and let these individuals know, hey, I'm looking for, I'm graduating, or I'm looking for an internship in this area. Please let me know if you find any, if you see anything, or if you know of anyone that I should reach out to. And that could be really helpful to get information regarding. And of course, we are here as well. So we have workshops, and we actually have every quarter we have a series of panels. It's called our Job Discovery Series, and these are designed to help students explore different careers in different fields or majors. So I would definitely keep an eye out for those. We will be sure to market them as well in our newsletters on Instagram. But in addition to those, we have, of course, workshops, including the ones that are recorded on here. You can attend those live and ask questions. You can attend information sessions or join one of our career development programs. These are kind of like, these are small group appointments almost. They run for 1 or more quarters, and you are basically in a cohort, a small cohort of other students, and this cohort, these sessions are led by one or more of our staff members at the Career Center. So you kind of get more more interactions with a career specialist or one of our industry outreach specialists. So you get a lot of one-to-one interaction with these career services professionals, and these can be really helpful when it comes to helping you explore different careers. We might some of these programs have a mentorship component, so you might be able to connect with professionals and learn about what they do and their fields more, and this can be really informative for you as well. And lastly, I also want to mention that on our website we have a resource called "What Can I Do with This Major?" Again, you can type it in the search bar and it'll come up. And if you either go to this page on our website and click on the different links to majors on there, or if you go to the website itself and click on the different majors that are available on there, they have a lot more than what is available at UCR. So there's more to review or to kind of filter through. But this resource is really helpful at kind of identifying the different areas or fields that you could pursue with a major, with a specific major, the different employers who hire for in these fields, And lastly, it gives you really great ideas for strategies that you can take to get to these different fields. So on this slide, we have different resources that you can use to search for experience so that you can gain additional experience, build on those skills that you already have, develop in ways that you may not have already. So of course, there is the undergraduate research portal. This is a great starting point if you're interested in research. When you go to the portal, you can filter by your college and search for things that faculty members in your college are currently doing. If you don't find anything on the research portal, sometimes there's nothing posted. What you can do is I highly recommend that you go to the faculty page of your college website and start researching faculty. Research what it is that they research, and they often have websites of their own, and I find that sometimes they will have the application or a posting for research assistance on their personal, or I should say professional website, and this may not be on the portal. So I highly recommend if there is a faculty member or an area that you're really interested in, or if you can't find what you're looking for on the research portal, make sure that you go to the faculty page on your college website, do that research there. And when you find something that you're interested in, hopefully you can apply through that website. If not, send an email to the faculty member that you're interested in doing research with. On the undergraduate research portal page, if you scroll down past the banner a little bit and past that button where it says go to the portal, there are really great instructions for how you can craft an email to send to a faculty member, asking them or letting them know that you're interested in their research and asking, how can I get involved? So I highly recommend that you use both resources to find a research opportunity if that's something that you're interested in. Other things to look into are the community service portal. So if you are interested in volunteering, you can visit the community service portal. I believe there are even like virtual volunteer opportunities on there as well. So if you are interested in giving back to the community in some way, to get involved, make a difference, as the tagline on that image says, highly recommend that you check that out as well. Some other things that you can take advantage of are UCDC. So even if you are not interested in government, I think that's one of the common misconceptions about UCDC and UC Sacramento, that you have to be interested in politics and government, but there are so many different opportunities across different fields that you can get involved in through UCDC. So I recommend that you check out their website, do some reading, learn more about the program and what opportunities might be available. And of course, there's Handshake and LinkedIn that you can use to search for opportunities. So Handshake is specific to, postings that are for UCR students. LinkedIn, there is a lot more available to you. And also with LinkedIn, you can network with people and potentially make your own internship as well. So I actually did this on my own. When I was an undergrad, I wasn't finding the kind of experience that I wanted. I wanted to do high school counseling, and there was most of the internship positions were like tutoring or teaching, not necessarily counseling oriented. So when I reached out to a school that was offering internships for my college, and I reached out to them and I let them know, I'm really interested in counseling and trying that out. Is that an option? So, if you can't find what it is that you're looking for, you can always try to reach out to someone and make that opportunity happen for you, and be proactive in that as well. Lastly, I wanted to talk to you about the UCR Career Network, which is an online community for networking, mentoring, and job opportunities for alumni and students. It functions very similarly to LinkedIn. Some of the differences are you have to opt in to be part of this network, whereas on LinkedIn, if you put that you went to UCR or graduated from UCR, you're automatically pulled into the alumni network on there. So the people who are here because they want to connect with other people, whether it's alum or current students. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of this platform so that you can connect with people who are working in the field that you're interested in, maybe get leads for a job or internship search and get some advice there. Another unique feature to the UCR Career Network is that you don't have to take it off of the Career Network in order to connect with other people. There is video conferencing call capabilities built into the platform. If you're interested in being part of the UCR Career Network, you can register at careernetwork.ucr.edu. So those were all the topics we wanted to cover for this workshop. It is more general, so if you have specific questions specific to your situation and your career goals, we highly recommend that you schedule an appointment with your career specialist so you can discuss these further.